Hey everyone. Just a couple of quick updates to talk about. So, over the past few days, I haven't really improved the accuracy of the network and its ability to play Pokemon, but I have done a lot of things sort of peripheral to it to just help it to function better. So, one of those things I did was adding the ability to pass in command line arguments when I'm running the bot. And so you can now pass in the number of episodes, which is really helpful because it saves me from having to, update a hard code value every time. You can pass in whether you want to save your network, whether you want to load your networks from an existing save, or whether you want your network to be trained. So um, this last one about training is really helpful. Let's say you train a network over 10,000 Pokemon games, which on my machine is taking about 20 to like 30 minutes to do so. If you go ahead and you save that network, then the next time what you can do is you can load it in and disable training and essentially use it for sort of like a benchmark tool. So I can train a network for 10,000 games, and now this allows me to jump back in and train against say 100 against any particular bot that I want to, and it just gives me a little bit more confidence in testing them out and seeing whether or not they're actually improving, whether they perform better against certain bots. Like one thing I've been experimenting with a lot recently is training against more than just the random bot or the max damage bot, but also the simple heuristics bot that's included as part of the Pokemon environment. Um, and so, yeah, just training against these can yield like really different results. Um, and part of the reason that I even added in all this functionality was actually because I've been working a lot recently on trying to play against real people. And I actually got this up and running. So if we jump into rl.live, this is all the code that it needs to take in order to actually run against real people. You just define the reinforcement learning bot, specify a couple of parameters, and then the Pokemon environment takes care of the rest, and you can just tell it to go play on the ladder. So if we jump into a terminal, I can go ahead and queue him up, and hopefully he'll find the battle really quickly. But yeah, so far his performance on the live networks has been very far from desirable. Uh, it has not won an actual game yet. It has come very close a number of times, but I don't know. It seems like if it ever gets ahead, people will just quit. And so the only games that really goes to completion on are games that are a little bit closer or games that's losing really badly. And a lot of times what it'll do is it'll be looking like it's doing a really strong game, and then it'll, make some like bonehead decisions. Like it'll be on the brink of winning and it'll decide to switch out for no apparent reason. Or, it won't choose to do the optimal move. And I don't know if it's just a matter of not training it enough, or what, but yeah, so you can see here the Pokemon player's name is Ash Ketchum AI, and he's doing pretty good right now. He's like picking like moves that are super effective. Um, One interesting thing I found was that when I was training the bots only against the max damage player, they would really kind of overfit for playing against the max damage player. And what I mean by that is the max damage player will deterministically choose the same move every single time. And so it'll always go for the highest base power move. And because of that, I think the bot was learned to switch way more than is really beneficial for it. Because if it switches to something that the opponent's move is not very effective against, then it's going to take less damage in that turn. And so what it was doing when it would get against real people is it would basically just constantly be switching and only attack maybe at one out of every 3 or 4 turns, which is just not enough to like, it's not enough damage output to really win. And so as you can see, like here, bot's playing the battle totally on its own. It's doing pretty good this battle too. But if we jump over here, I'm typing all the output into output live.txt. And so you can see we're playing against GUI Toki, and we can see same text here, and we can see all of our like output information of, here's what the states are that it's looking at, here's the actions that we're choosing, the actions that our opponents are choosing. And kind of on that note, one thing I did have to add in was I had to refactor how I parse the opponent's previous action because when you play against a live player, you don't have an instance you don't have that player's instance. So instead, now I'm trying to parse it kind of convolutedly, but through the handling the battle messages. So this is like the big like text output that is used by the Pokemon Showdown server to try and like communicate all the different battle states to different JavaScript clients. So there's like a little bit of convoluted logic in here now trying to check that stuff. But yeah, that's kind of some of the changes I've been working on. So if we jump back over here, it seems like it's doing pretty well this game, but yeah, if I ever see it win a game, I'll let you guys know. So yeah, that's it for now. I will definitely keep you posted with more findings.